Everyone, welcome to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees meeting. It is August 14th, 2018 at approximately 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, may we please have the roll call?
Yes, Mr. Burning?
Present.
Ms. McFarland?
Present.
Mr. Honolaw?
Present.
All trustees are present.
And next, if I could ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first thing that we have this evening is approval of minutes. And we have minutes from our regular meeting on July 10th, 2018, and a special meeting on July 26th, 2018. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then we also had a public hearing, minutes from a public hearing which took place on August 1st, 2018. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes as drafted?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstained from that one as I was not present at that public hearing. Next, Mr. Burning.
Carries. Yes,
Do
fiscal
we
officer
have a
report.
fiscal officer report? Yes.
Yes, for the month ending July 31st, 2018, the township expenditures were $1,442,127.56, and receipts were $634,122.66. The ending cash balance of $18,665,627.89 includes obligations for expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvement projects, and investments. What I request is a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updated and current revenue and reports for the period ending July 31st, 2018.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and I just want everyone to know that our financial reports are available for viewing at the administrative offices weekdays during regular business hours or on our website 24/7. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Okay, next, moving on with our agenda, we have departmental action and discussion items. Mr. Gilbert, do we have a report?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Mr. Hunterlaw. As you can see on the agenda, we do have several action items and a few discussion items. I guess first, as is standard this time of year, we have two separate school resource officer agreements, one with Finneytown Local School District as well as Mount Healthy School District, respectively. So I would ask, unless there are any questions of the board, they're pretty standard contracts, right, Rob? Pretty sure?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
That we entertain a motion to approve the school resource officer agreements for Finneytown and Mount Healthy and do those in separate motions.
For Finneytown, so moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For Mount
Mount
Healthy,
Healthy?
so moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have the Shuttlecotty Park Agreement. As the board is aware, we've been talking for some time about what to do with that property. That is a park that's over off of Hamilton Avenue. It's approximately 15 acres. And in the outline in the neighborhood master plan, there was a consensus by the committee that park, for all intents and purposes, should be removed from our listing of parks, that it isn't utilized that much, and alternative uses should be sought after. So what we've done, and in particular Mike Gold has went out and looked for entities that would be willing to utilize that park, but then take over the maintenance of that property, which would, for all intents and purposes for us, shed a big expense, and more than that, a time-consuming piece of property that we had to mow that received very little usage by the community. Star Soccer, a local youth soccer organization, has expressed interest in utilizing that property as a practice facility for their group. They've indicated that they'd be taking over 100% maintenance for the property. So what you have before you is basically a lease agreement between the township and Star Soccer organization to allow them to lease the property from us for $1 a year, I think it is. And basically, in turn, they will maintain the property. Any capital improvements they do would have to be approved by us, but they would bear the 100% expense on that. In return for them doing that, though, it no longer will become public property. It will be simply a piece of property, a private piece of property that now Star Soccer leases from the township. So unless there are any questions of the board, I would ask that there's a motion authorizing the administrator to enter into the agreement with Star Soccer.
We're not going to have the same thing we had with Coleraine.
I don't believe so. I think Star is in a little better financial shape, as well as I think they're a little more, I don't know if you'd say organized, I guess.
So how are we going to prevent, or do we have a plan in place for people just to drive back there and use it on their own?
It'll be gated
Okay.
at the
Okay.
parking lot.
Okay.
I think it's a good way that, the space can still be utilized by the youth. We can have games there and support recreational needs of people in the community, but at the same time, save us the maintenance costs on a piece of property that just wasn't being utilized a whole lot by just general run-of-the-mill
Right.
It hasn't been for a long time.
public. Yeah.
And maybe the soccer bug is going to extend out here, At one point, that field was used a lot by soccer teams. And now with what's happening, with the downtown, they may be rebirthing the soccer movement.
Maybe. We'll see.
Do we have a motion to approve the Shuttlecotti Park agreement?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Additionally, as the board is aware, in conversations we've had, in looking at the collective bargaining agreement, there was, I'll call it an oversight on both parties over the past years, looking at salaries of our lieutenants during the probationary period. We haven't promoted a lieutenant in the fire department for how long, Rob? 15 years? Yes. 14, 15 years? And as a result, the probationary rate for a lieutenant wasn't something that really came up or was examined during our collective bargaining agreements of the past. So we just recently promoted Matt Morgan to lieutenant, and as a result, and looking at what the probationary rate of a lieutenant is, it's actually going to be less per hour. It would have been less per hour than he's making currently as a rank and file medic firefighter. We felt like clearly that was never the intent of the collective bargaining agreement. Therefore, we proposed a change in the rate to right between, basically in the middle between what he's making now as a current topped out firefighter medic to what it will be as a non-probationary rate lieutenant. We presented that to the local IAFF, and they have approved it, obviously, and therefore it's now before the board for your review and consideration to approve a sidebar agreement to the current collective bargaining agreement with IAFF 4268, carrying through December 31st of 2020.
So I'm glad we were able to come to that agreement, and I'd like to make a motion that we approve the sidebar agreement.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to set a date for a dangerous property public hearing. Actually, we probably should wait until we pass the resolution later in the meeting. We can't really set the public hearing until we actually pass the resolution, but there will be an action item via resolution later in the meeting to declare 2059 Highland Avenue as a dangerous property. And at that time, and subsequent to passing that resolution, I would ask the board to consider setting the date and time for that particular property's public hearing before our next meeting in September at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll come back to that then.
Yeah, and I'm checking the date now, what that date would be, September 11th at 5, so. Next and last, just I guess prior to this meeting, we had the bid opening for DeSoto Drive resurfacing project. And the engineer's estimate was $183,850. And I'm happy to report that the lowest bid we received was $169,870.
Wow.
So $14,000 less than what the engineer's estimate was, so that's good. And that would be Rack and Blower. And at this point in time, assuming that everything checks out with our law director, I would ask that the board consider a motion to award the DeSoto Drive resurfacing project to Rack and Blower in the amount of $169,870, subject to final review by law director.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under discussion, I think, Chief, some congratulations are in order. Our local township fire department has received the Ohio Fire Department of the Year award. I'm not sure exactly how we were nominated. I'm sure there's a story behind that somewhere. And Chief, I don't know if you want to say a few words about how that came to be and what that actually means.
A little bit of the background. There's 1,150 fire departments in the state of Ohio out of 88 counties. All the fire departments were eligible for this award. There was a process of nominating the fire department. Gwen McFarland stepped up and nominated us. In 2017, and actually the early part of 2018, we accomplished some milestones with the department. Some of those milestones included a reduction in our ISO rating. Our run volume continues to increase. We also received a grant for community paramedicine. Some of our education programs, in my opinion, are some of the best in the county, if not in the state, with our open house and so the kids' fire academies and some of these things. I mean, I think our education programs are excellent. And so with those, we worked with Gwen, and Gwen completed the forms, and we sent it to the state for consideration. And a lot of it was based on really our community education and some of those milestones that we were able to accomplish in 2017 and 2018. It is an honor to accept this award, really on behalf of the board and the fire department, and as well as the residents of Springfield Township. We look at these quality indicators for our fire departments every time we receive some type of an accreditation or some type of recognition. It just validates the hard work that we do and the quality of the services that we provide. And we're very proud of that. And the board establishes those high expectations of customer service. Quite honestly, we demand that out of ourselves to provide excellent service. And when we receive an award for this, it's very gratifying, but very humbling at the same time. But we're very honored, and we'll be going to the State Fire Marshal's office on September the 20th to receive our recognition.
Great.
You should be very proud, Chief. You guys the job you guys are doing is incredible, continually.
Exactly. In other communities, we talk about, when I run around to other communities, they really talk about what a great fire department and what a great leader you are, here in the township as well.
Thank you. Well, good leaders surround themselves with great people. And I'm blessed to have a wonderful staff, and they do a great job. So thank you very much.
Well, from now on, when we say we think we have the best fire department in the state, obviously we believe that as well about the police and public works departments too. We can actually say that with certainty with the fire department. We have the certificate to prove it, so it isn't just our opinion any longer.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Moving right along with the fire department, Chief has proposed, after looking at our current EMS billing rates and looking in comparison to what other departments across the county currently charge, he has recommended some increases in our EMS billing rates. The board obviously has a copy and has had an opportunity to review those. I think it puts us in line where we probably need to be, especially as the best fire department in the state of Ohio.
Amen.
But as the board is aware, we do soft billing regarding our EMS billing, and these rates are those that are charged whenever we make a emergency run to someone's residence or an accident of any kind. So it wouldn't put us at the top in the county by any means, and it won't make us the lowest. It's going to put us probably in that top 25, 30%, which based on the medic service that we provide is probably commensurate with the service level. So
The last rate increase was actually April of 2015. And about every 3 years, we make, or I submit a recommendation for an adjustment. And, we're really just trying to keep up with the reimbursement for the expenses that we incur as a result of our EMS operation.
there will be a resolution
Yes.
later in the meeting
Okay.
to approve those increases. Lastly, I would like to let the public know that Duke Energy has contacted the township and informed us that they will have employees and contractors out in the Finneytown area over the next 4 to 6 weeks doing gas line inspections. So if you see someone out there, they should obviously be in uniform, have some sort of badge, and be well visible that they are actually a Duke employee. I know there was something recently on the news about somebody posing as a Duke employee. It's just coincidence that we were notified by Duke that this is actually happening. So just let everyone know that if you see them out and about, and if you have any questions or concerns about that, obviously you can call our police department. We can look into it, but you can also just call your Duke Energy as well, and they can confirm that that individual is in fact a contractor of Duke. At this point, I will turn it over to Kim to kind of give us an update on the mural.
So excited to announce that the mural is nearing completion. Yesterday we went through a critique, had a couple little small modifications. The final stages actually require the power of the building to come off so they can put the clear coat on. There's some power lines that go directly into the building right there, and that has to be completely shut down so they can get to that edge piece. So that will happen on August the 22nd, and then the scaffolding should come down on September the 4th. From there, we will begin the plaza portion of the project, and then we are scheduling a mural dedication sometime in October. So it's coming along really nicely.
It looks exciting from the street. Like,
Very
great,
popular.
yeah.
It'll look a lot better when the scaffolding comes down and you can actually see most of the green is covered up right
Yes.
now.
And looking very forward to seeing what comes down.
Yeah, it is funny how when you look at it on a piece of paper and then you look it up on the wall, how big it is, how different it is, and then obviously with the scaffolding, it sort of skews it as well. But
So-
it's been a lot of work. That's a lot of hours that they put into painting.
And the students, it's been a really great team to work with. We have 10 apprentices over there, 8 apprentices and 2 teaching artists from our works, and it's been a great group over there.
It's a great opportunity for them to express their artistic skills as well.
Most of them come from our local school districts.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Kim, is there a date for that mural dedication or not?
We were given,
Is it up in the air?
we were given one, I don't know if it's the right date.
It's tentative.
I think they're making sure it's all done.
Okay, all right, we'll
It's
just,
running a little behind right now.
we'll hold off on it then
There's
until you're
a
ready.
tentative date for that.
Yep, okay.
Thank you, Kim. Moving on, in the personnel update, we had a resignation in the fire department of James Riley, part-time EMT firefighter. That date of resignation is August 3rd of 2018. And as I mentioned earlier, we had the promotion of Mr. Matt Morgan as lieutenant, and his date of promotion was August 11th of 2018. In the police department, I'm excited to announce that we did have a new hire in Logan Hammock as a police officer. Start of hire is August 6th, 2018, and he came to us from Madeira, right?
Marymont.
Marymont.
Oh.
Marymont.
Okay.
In the Public Works Department, we had a new hire, seasonal labor of Zachary Teague, and his date of hire was July 9th, 2018. And then we had the resignation of Jameer Johnson, of seasonal labor of July 6th, 2018. That time of year, I guess they're going back to school, right, Mike? In the Senior Community Center, we had a new hire of Leanne Ram, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Building monitor, July 18th, 2018. And in the Community Center, Senior Center, we had the hiring of Holly Williams, building monitor, July 18th, 2018. And Likewise, Dana Smith as bartender, July 18th, 2018. We did get the resignation of Rose Holland, building monitor, August 3rd, 2018. That concludes the personnel update, and then I'll turn it back over to Kim to give us an update on what's going on with community events and programs.
We have two of the lunchtime concerts that are left. One's last Friday in August, August the 31st, and then we'll have another one on September the 28th. Those are the lunchtime concerts with a food truck. On September the 7th, we have a rescheduled concert. We had a large concert. It was our first one in June. It's J. Jesse Johnson. He's a blues singer, very, very good. And that had to be rescheduled because of rain, and that's coming on September the 7th. And then Kamikaze Fireflies, which is a theater production that we're going to be doing at the Finneytown High School Performing Arts Center is October the 12th, but the last day to get discount tickets is tomorrow, so you can get tickets for $10 off through August the 15th.
Already got my tickets.
$20 instead of $30.
Oh.
Kim, what time's the J. Jesse concert? 7 o'clock.
The food trucks open at 6, and then the concert will be at 7. This one, because we lost the stage rental, will be on the back deck of the Senior Community Arts Center.
Okay. Thanks, Kim. The board has copies of the departmental activity reports. Unless there are any questions of those, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Chris. Next, moving on to resolutions this evening, we have a number of them. Our first resolution is Resolution Number 59, 2018, authorizing the private sale of junk motor vehicles which were titled to the township pursuant to Revised Code Section 4513.61 and Revised Code Section 4513.62, and which are not needed or unfit for use in any township department. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second it?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 60, 2018, granting approval for a zoning map amendment for listed parcels from R3 Residence District to O2 General Office District, case ZC 2018-2004, for the property at 1150 West Galbraith Road. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
I'll abstain as I was not at that.
Motion
was not at
carries.
that meeting.
With the two trustees.
Next, we have Resolution Number 61, 2018, which is supplemental appropriations within the General Fund, Police District Fund, Fire District Fund, Permissive Motor Vehicle License Tax Fund, Ambulance and Emergency Medical Services Fund, Community Development Block Grant Fund, State Law Enforcement Forfeitures Fund, Public Works Commission Project Fund number 4410, and the Public Improvement Tax Increment Equivalent Fund. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second it?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 62, 2018, and this is the resolution we discussed earlier, approving an increase in the ambulance billing rates. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution 63, 2018, declaring dangerous property conditions at 6410 Railroad Avenue, parcel 306, 6410 Railroad Avenue, parcel 307, and 2059 Highland Avenue. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second it?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Do we want to, at this point, let's entertain a motion to schedule that hearing. I believe, Mr. Gilbert, you were saying we could have that hearing on September 11th. at 5:00 PM here in this room.
Yes.
That'll work for me.
I'll make that as a motion.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Going back to our resolutions then, we are to resolution number 64, 2018, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 505.87 at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 65, 2018, authorizing sale by internet auction of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in the fire department. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second it?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have resolution number 66, 2018, determining necessity for road improvements pursuant to revised code 5573.01 on on DeSoto Drive and authorizing statutory actions required for such improvements. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second it?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 67, 2018, determining necessity for road improvements pursuant to revised code section 5573.01 on Lux Avenue and Beach Ridge Drive and authorizing statutory actions required for such improvements. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 68, 2018, determining necessity for road improvements pursuant to revised code section 5573.01 on Cavalier Drive and Christoffel Drive and authorizing statutory actions required for such improvements. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 69, 2018, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance and certifying the same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
And finally, we have resolution number 70, 2018, declaring motor vehicles located on public or private property in Springfield Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles pursuant to revised code section 505.173 and ordering the removal of such vehicles pursuant to resolution number 80, 2012 and revised code section 505.871. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second it?
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Ms. McFarland.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Motion carries.
A lot of resolutions.
A lot of
Yeah.
vehicles.
It's been a while since we've had that many on the agenda.
Resolving many things.
I'm sorry.
That long series of resolutions brings back memories of when we used to have a separate resolution for every junk property we cleaned up,
Yeah, unfortunately, it was about 10 pages of resolutions, not
if we did.
10 resolutions.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. All right, very good. Do we have any old business before the board this evening?
I do not.
I have none.
Any new business?
I do not.
I have none.
Do we, citizens' participation, is there anyone here that would like to address the board this evening? It appears that we do not. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all for coming out.
Those that
Our next regular meeting will be September 11th, 2018, and thank you.